Hey, great Tuesday morning. It is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas, and it's an interesting morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas. I still, I made mention to Frankie. I'm still trying to recuperate from uh, from the time change, from not sleeping well, from going back and forth, and this morning I had to take care of a client at 7 o'clock in the morning. So it was just a little bit of everything, hustle and bustle. So it was still trying to recuperate. I don't have any trips planned in the next coming weeks until the 25th of February when I'm going back to Cuba. But everything so far was quiet. I had a conversation yesterday with a couple of BIC board members, and there's concerns. There are great concerns in regards to a lot of these schools consolidating, a lot of these schools getting shut down. And again, I made mention how hypocritical it was for individuals like Jessica Gonzalez in her time to go out there and criticize when we had to do it back 6 years ago and had to consolidate, put together some of the schools because of the issue with less students in our district. But the greatest issue is we have to go back and say, where is the root? And the root of it is that we are getting a lot of uh, these charter schools coming in, being a little bit more prevalent in regards to, the newer schools offering somewhat of what is believed to be better problems, less issues. Because a lot of our older schools were having a lot of issues in regards to facilities. And I think this is one of the things that I really appreciated Philip Cowan, flip flopping Philip. Philip Cowan was all about facilities and fixing the stuff that needed to be fixed, and I could appreciate that. I could appreciate that because it's something that was greatly needed. And my goal it was that some of these schools needed to be completely destroyed and made anew. So when you've got these charter schools coming in, individuals think, well, newer, we're not going to have the issues in regards to sending our kids to the restrooms and there's no air conditioning. Because that's what was happening in a lot of schools like Garza Elementary. I think even Vermilion and a lot of the older schools, Sharp, um, Egley, the one in front of Egley, I think it's the one in front of uh, Oliveira Middle School. A lot of these didn't have a lot of uh, the the upgrades that need to have been made. And again, it goes back to the same issue, guys. When you don't take care of a problem at the inception, when it's starting to be a problem, then farther down the road, it's going to be a lot more expensive to take care of. And I've always used that example. I've lived that example. And again, we really wish that a lot of these schools had been upkept for so too long. The problem is we had no administration out there that was held accountable for letting all these schools go into disarray. So what happens is when an Erasmo Castro comes out and starts talking about tlacuaches falling from the ceiling or rat infested places, then Erasmo gets to be the negative one. But the individuals that are having to deal with the facilities being in such disarray understand what I'm saying. And again, it's not whining and bitching and oh well, I used to walk like 10 miles to get to school in snow and rain, and it's not that we don't live back then. We live now, and now our students deserve so much better than what they've received. And again, the root of the problem is where have all these funds gone that were supposed to be used for the students? And again, it's like the Performing Arts Center guys. $53 million were just pissed away. $53 million that were earmarked for a performing arts center here in the city of Brownsville, and did not get it. We've got the land out there where it was supposed to be built. We got nothing. Los Fresnos is getting a performing arts center. San Benito is getting a performing arts center. We're always left in the dark, left behind. And again, it's not whining or complaining, guys. It's just wanting something different for our people. That's all it is. How is that a bad thing? And again, if we were in a situation where there wasn't any money, there truly wasn't any money, then I understand. Unfortunately for us, there is money. It's just been pocketed by the selected few here locally in the city of Brownsville. And that's, again, resources. Money that goes into the pockets of politicos is money that will not be going to our students for their outings, not going to our staff, and not going for employee retention. And we all suffer as a community. And that's the gist of the matter, guys. Facilities declined because the person in charge did not know real work. Yeah, they just put out small fires. Again, uh, yeah, again, if we would have taken matters and started to fix them from the bottom, we would be in such a better position. But we're not. So we're dealt with what we have to do today. And unfortunately for us today, there's very little to be done except consolidate these schools. And I understand the decisions that are being taken by the board. I completely understand the problem with the previous superintendent, and unfortunately, any other superintendent out there that knows how to count to four, that they surround themselves with kiss asses and ratas that are at the same level as the superintendent. And that's what's just so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But again, right now we're in a position right now. What do we do now? There's nothing to do. We are $24 million in the hole. They're saying 16 million. I do not believe that figure. I believe it is closer to $24 million in a hole, if not more. $24 million in a hole that we're not going to be able to set ourselves free from. It's got to, we're going to have to pay it somehow. Going to have to put it out there. So I'm concerned that the general fund is going to be touched. And again, like I told the individuals from the insurance committee when I met with them. So if you put money or you put your program in the hands of board members, they're going to destroy your benefits, and it's something that happened. And let me say this, guys: I don't want to be right all the time. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news always. And I've had this conversation with a lot of the city commissioners and board members. I want to sit back and, and just post all the great stuff that's happening here locally. But if you ignore the issues at hand, then no one is ever going to want to try and fix them. They need to be fixed. Get it done. Fix it. You're going to have to close schools. Just say it. Just say that you're going to have to close schools. It's that simple. We're going to close schools. Close schools, bring the schools together, upkeep the schools that need the help. And again, I saw someone's comment on there like, well, they're doing it because they're going to upgrade the facilities. It should have been done a long time ago, puppy. What could have cost $1 million before is now going to cost us another 10 to $12 million. And that's just a number I'm throwing out there. I honestly don't even know how much. But again, I don't envy the current board members in regards to the decisions. They're tough decisions because closing a school, you're closing a part of Brownsville, and that's what's really unfortunate. And I understood it was really, really, very, very hard for us back then when we had to go close down Resaca, um, the one over here on La Catorce, can't remember the name, and the one over here, acá atrás, can't remember the names. But it's really hard because those schools, they tend to be a part of the community in that general area, and it hurts them to have their alma maters, their school that they went to. It's kind of weird for me because it's kind of weird for me. They have closed 6 schools already. Yeah, it's kind of weird for me because I went to Webb, and I never wanted Webb to to disappear, but disappeared many, many years ago. Dr. Chavez, as intern, has been upfront about so many difficult decisions that should have been addressed a long time ago. 100%. But Rene had to fool everyone into believing all was well. 100%. That is the issue. And I appreciate Dr. Chavez. I appreciate Dr. Chavez. I do not envy his job now whatsoever, because now he is taxed with telling individuals the truth. And people here locally, guys, struggle with the truth. And the truth of the matter is, it should have been taken care of many, many years ago. It was not. And we're stuck with it now. So I understand closing down the schools is going to be the only option out there. It's going to lower the amount of staff that was going to be needed, and they're going to start cutting from the bottom. Unfortunately, part of my constant jingle is you got to start cutting from the top. That's where the fat is at. And Dr. Chavez is facing the music because of Rene's stupidity. 100%. And it's just so unfortunate because there's just so much potential here locally. But our students are going to suffer. We're going to find classrooms with 40, 50, 60 students in them, where the teacher student ratio is just ridiculous. It does not uh, help out. But Chavez is following the majority board. He is not getting rid of top administrators, just getting rid of the teachers and bus drivers. Exactly my point. And that's what's unfortunate, because a lot of the top individuals as they are going to be protected by this board, the sport majority, and that's what's unfortunate. Again, like I mentioned, the ones that suffer are on the bottom. It's never the ones on the top that suffer, and that's what's unfortunate. How many schools have been closed nationally post COVID? How in debt are ISDs in America? See this happening everywhere in every state and city. But the community does need to give Dr. Chavez an opportunity to do what is needed. Uh, Not what we want done, but what is needed to do. Let me say, I think that our closing down of schools has been at a faster pace, faster rate, because of all the charter schools that have come in here locally. I don't think it has much to do with COVID. I think it has much to do with not upgrading our facilities and individuals always wanting to go to a new school. I remember when Oliveira was the new junior high here in Brownsville. I was scheduled to go to Oliveira, and we actually got to vote for the mascot. I can't remember what I voted for. I think I said Dolphins. I don't know, but it was just exciting to go into a new school, new facility, which right now is in disarray as well. Uh, but that I think is what's been eating our lunch. Idea keeps on opening schools. There's other schools also opening. Joe Belize opening schools. Everyone's opening schools. Everyone's opening schools out there. So BASD is going to suffer. It's going to hurt. It's going to bleed. Now, do we want a board that is going to continue to funnel money away from students, staff, and community? Uh, or are we going to go let it go to crap? And that's the question that's going to be up for this next election in November, which again, I am running for. I am running for BISD again in 2024. And I know that there's some individuals out there that have also made mention that they're interested in running for 2024. Like I stated here very publicly, and I'm going to state again, guys, the only way that we're going to cause an impact in this community in regards to the corrupt political machine is if we start to work together and not against each other. I've been saying this for years, for years. Yeah. The administration only worry about keeping their jobs and their secretaries, but don't care about teachers, bus drivers, and janitors. And that's what's unfortunate. Um, my 15 minutes are up. I have actually some work to do, and my eyes are just so tired. As that you're still sleepy. I still haven't recuperated from my trip. I'm gonna see if I could bring on someone tonight and have a show tonight. We'll see. I'm just tired, but I'm still here. Guys, thank you for being patient with me. Tomorrow morning, it should be good. Be good to each other. Continue to be good to me. God bless.